Support Saturday, Fiora x Kent. Welcome to Support Saturday, where I take a look at your recommended supports. Today's support, Kent x Fiora, comes recommended by Del's Des, who suggests we take a look at two very prim and proper knights talking to each other about how proper knights and members of the army should act. Right? Well, sort of. But their introductions to each other in the C support go about as well as you would expect. Both being duty and honor-bound knights, their mannerisms are basically the same thing. As they make introductions to each other, Kent even mentions that Florina, a fellow Kaelin knight, had once talked about how similar these two are. While Kent says he's not sure what this means, I just remember Florina saying it. We the players can see that these two fit the same mold. But it's in the B support conversation where things get a little spicy. They both take on the act of prim and proper knights with exceptional manners, and these two have a problem with how the army is interacting with one another. Kent and Fiora have noticed the same thing, and it's the fact that the men and women in the camp are getting way too intimate with one another. I'm looking at you, Pent and Louise. They both agree that it's a problem, and Kent suggests seeking the counsel of Lady Lindis on the matter, as if I'm not having her sit next to Hector every game for their A support ending myself. Fiora agrees that it's a good idea and that they should further discuss these matters in private, with Kent also mentioning, yes, of course, I would be truly grateful to have the company of a morally pure individual like yourself. Sure, Kent, sure. And it's in the A support where things come to light. After all this talk about how there was a lack of moral grounding, the conclusion of these two comes down to Kent got feelings for Fiora and Fiora caught feelings for Kent. The beginning bits of this conversation are almost awkward because they both know they messed up on standing on the moral high ground when they too fell off the cliff and joined the rest of the army in what they complained about in the last support. But Kent gets his feelings to Fiora out in the open, Fiora reciprocates his feelings back, but because of the policy that they created, they're in a little bit of a pickle. These kinds of support conversations are hilarious. They're one of my favorites because it's almost meta commentary on how we the tacticians are basically trying to fish for these paired endings. Kent and Fiora become aware of how male and female characters talking to each other while doing it themselves is also hilarious. And the ending where they confess their feelings for one another just proves that we the tacticians aren't just battlefield geniuses, but matchmaking geniuses as well, because at the end of the day, Kent and Fiora are a very cute couple. If you have any supports you want me to take a look at, good, bad, or funny, leave suggestions down in the comments below or by joining my Discord.